NFL Combine Indianapolis. Players reporting tonight. Meetings and workouts begin tomorrow. 329 players invited. The big storyline, Cam Ward or Shedeur Sanders? Who's the number one quarterback? Sanders has already announced he's not going to throw. He's meeting with teams, but he will not throw. But again, look at his tape. His tape probably tells you everything. He does have a pro day coming up in Boulder in which they'll throw, and he will take part in meetings. Cam Ward, though, is still the higher ranked of the two quarterbacks. The rap on Sanders is he doesn't have a gun for an arm. He's unbelievably athletic. Mentally, he's just great reading defenses, making decisions, but he doesn't have a gun for an arm. Now, maybe that's somebody just trying to drive his value down a little bit. Third quarterback has pushed himself into the first round. Jaxson Dart played for Lane Kiffin, Ole Miss. Guy chucked the ball around a lot for the Rebels. Now, I don't know that he's a superstar, but the guy was unbelievably productive at Ole Miss for the last 2.5 seasons. So Jaxson Dart, all of a sudden, is going to get a lot of attention this week at the Combine, and he, from what I gather, is going to throw. Ashton Jeanty from Boise State will be there. He is going to run. He's going to do all the things he did at Boise State. That's really impressive. Abdul Carter, the defensive end from Penn State, some people think he's pushing himself to be the number one pick in the draft. Tennessee's not going to take a quarterback. Might they take Abdul Carter? Keep an eye on that one. Obviously, Travis Hunter from Colorado. We'll have to see how he does in man coverage against other really good players, because when they were at the Senior Bowl, he didn't cover very well at all. People were kind of bagging on him. But again, he'll be focused in this one. There's a ton of offensive linemen. There's a bunch of really good receivers. I think it's a pretty good draft, aside from just the marquee names I just talked about. A little bit surprised Deion's other son has not been invited. Shilo Sanders is not getting an invite. That's an issue. And I'm really disappointed. San Diego State, Marquez Cooper, that running back did everything in college football, over 5,000 yards, played for 3 different schools, can run it between the tackles, great balance, great cutback ability, extra gear, and catches balls out of backfield. Did not get an invite to the Combine. So whatever he proves will have to come on his pro day. I think he's a good football player. Is he a true NFL back? I don't know. Is he equal to Ashton Jeanty from Boise State? He's kind of built like Jeanty, and he's really explosive. Now, granted, he's played a little bit lesser level than Jeanty played at Boise State, but I was kind of surprised. Cooper, if it doesn't work out in the NFL, I bet he could go to Canada and be pretty successful on a wider field, because they spread that thing and those running backs dart and dash and all that. So we got the Combine. Tonight they show up. Tomorrow the interviews begin, and then on the field each day of the week, a different group goes out there and gets tested. And John Riley says,
aren't you kind of surprised that this event still happens? This seems like something very old-fashioned, because, there's plenty of tape and, video content. There's scouts that are all over the place. Everyone writing columns, comparing these guys. It seems like there's already so much information. I mean, can you recall a situation where a player went into the Combine and either really impressed or really disappointed, and their stock changed dramatically?
Well, it happens every Combine. They call it the underwear Olympics. Somebody comes out and runs a 4.23, and you say, holy cow, where'd this guy come from? Well, he run a 4.23, but he can't run routes. He runs a 4.23, but he drops balls. He might be a track star, but he's trying to play in the NFL. But the Combine is important because it's the first time you really have a chance to sit and interview players. Each team is allowed access to 30 players that you can sit down over the course of this entire week and go through your formal introductions. Also, it's the physical exams, the amount of medical attention every player in the Combine gets, especially the guys that are coming off surgeries or have had injuries, have to be rechecked. So, yeah, there's still real value there in terms of one-on-one, me with that right tackle that I might take in the first round, or me with a defensive tackle that's coming off surgery. So, yeah, there is value there.
Do they still do the Wonderlic test?
It doesn't carry as much clout now as it used to.
No. Now, that's just the most ridiculous name for a test, but I think it's like named after some guy. It's like a last name of someone, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's a tough name to go through life with.
But they don't. It doesn't carry the clout anymore. The interviews really carry the clout, and then your pro day when the clubs go back in and interview the player the second time, that carries a lot of clout. So you're into the NFL. You like Cam Ward? You like Shedeur Sanders? Feel free. Jump on board. Fans Forum chat box.